Tuesday, October 7, 2025. Our first item on the agenda is the Evans Police Station Design Update, and I'll turn it over to staff.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. On the heels of our groundbreaking here just a couple of weeks ago for the new police station, we have since received, or about that time, received the 100% construction drawings for review that are under review with the building department right now. And so what we thought we'd do tonight is have our design partners from D2C here to do a fly-through of the facility to show the City Council just what the new police station is going to look like. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Michael and to Brian and let them take it from here.
Thank you, Cody. So tonight we're going to show you a more in-depth model and a run-through than what we showed you previously. Previously we only had a sort of a white and black shadow box rendering. Now we've actually got full materials, color, everything. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go through the building, through certain departments, and end up right back at the lobby. So we're going to do a little loop through the whole building. And then afterwards, we have individual spaces that we've highlighted throughout the building. Some are just typical offices, some are more gathering spaces. The training room is another key item. And we'll actually be able to pop into those rooms and do a 360 kind of revolution inside the space. So without further ado, maybe, there it is.
The first time I threw it may be choppy.
Yes, the pass might be a little choppy here in terms of catching up with the screens. I'm not sure what.
It's the lag to the screens.
There we go. So right now we're in the lobby and we're about to enter into the administration wing. There we are.
Do you want to tell them what to look at?
All right, so through here, this is the main admin wing, chief, other high-ranking officers will all be through here. There's a conference room we just passed, and we're about to enter the central spine of the building, which is a key element for the entire design of the facility to let natural light come through and penetrate as many spaces as possible. And then right now we're turning into the entrance of the patrol wing. Briefing room is on our left with the door with the glass in it, and we'll be coming back to that room and doing a 360 inside of it. Up ahead, we've got the sort of breakout space for patrol to do some work, maybe print copy area, possible radio charging or camera charging. In the background, we have their go bags or duty bag lockers right along the main corridor to let them come in and out. Here we have their report writing, all their lovely paperwork they love doing. Here we have mailboxes. And then coming up, we're going to be going into the evidence area, just kind of an intro for most patrol to come in, drop off things, bag it, tag it, and then evidence will review behind this space. But this will give them plenty of space to actually properly bag, tag, and have everything written up well, which is what that stainless steel countertop is for any kind of fluids that may get on there can be cleaned off. Then as we turn this corridor, we're ending out the patrol area with the duty bags here. And then up ahead, we'll be going into the investigations area. And that is coming up with these two doors on the right with the large windows to bring as much connectivity between interdepartments as much as possible. This one we did not do an internal 360 just because of the furniture you'll see here in just a second. It's very high and it's mostly for privacy and being able to hold calls and view things under certain decibel range so you're not being overheard by someone else. Here we're back into the spine and we're about to go down into the more staff support area. This furniture is all just purely for fill at the moment. We are working through with our furniture vendor about what's going to go in these spaces, but that area was for an honor wall, badges, dedications, and awards. Then here we have the break room, and this is open to the exterior for a patio for those big days, celebration days, commencement. And then as we turn the corner, we go further down into staff support. We'll be entering into the break room. And again, Skylight. What did I say?
Fitness. You said break room.
exercise.
Exercise.
Yep. And again, just as much natural light as we can bring into these spaces, loaded with equipment. And that natural light doesn't just look good, it actually helps with our electrical loads and everything else, helps reduce with energy efficiency throughout the building. And then this space, I'll brief you right now, it's going to be kind of weird, this transition, because we're going through a corridor to get to a corridor, to get to another space. But we're going to be entering in the training room, kind of a shared space between the PD and the public at times. And now we're entering the main public concourse or corridor that we first started in at the end of the corridor there. And then here we have this glass wall on the right and this sort of titled wall on the left, calling out this is the Evans Police Department. And it is.
We'll make sure you get a copy of the video he's watching is way smoother. I think it's the SharePoint.
I think so.
Click share leg.
So that's the video walkthrough. We can play it again or slow down, speed up, go back through certain areas if you'd like. If not, we can jump right into the individual spaces. So, okay.
Yeah, just to kind of jump in as he's doing this, you know, Chief and I have viewed this along with his team many times. So this modeling, we've made minor changes throughout. Chief's goal is to have connectivity. You know, here at the complex, they're very tight. They're around each other. They're a team. You know, and so that's the culture and stuff that he wants to build within this. So there's been some changes as you talked about the detective space. We've added windows because it was just a long hallway, and so they just felt like they were not part of the team. So Chief's goal is to have that continuity for everybody, that connectivity. That really we're the Evans Police Department. We're not different, you know, divisions within that. So this modeling has allowed us to make changes to create the culture and the atmosphere and environment that he wants for this. So it's been a great model.
Yeah. All right, so first off, we'll start kind of in order from what we see here, going sort of top left corner down and then next column. So we'll work from the public into the private areas. So right off the bat, we have the public lobby here. Try to keep up with the lag in the transition.
That's a lot better.
Look what it does with economic development outside too. It's great. This PD is going to really have some things.
So this is all what you'll see when you come into the space. Through this doors, you'll go back into the training room, which we can actually jump ahead into right now. And then through this glass is the record space.
But off the main public lobby, you also have spaces for interviews and things like that that are private or semi-private for the officers to take someone into. And that right off that first shot, Michael, is there's a room the public can also use. It's like they can use it either as an interview or also use it as like a transfer of like sort of Facebook Marketplace or something like that, or use the PD to meet up with somebody in the public space.
All right, next up we have off that main corridor, the training room. And the way we've programmed the space is to be dual function. Should the public want to use it or interact with the space in certain moments, or the PD will use it for dedicated training sessions. But in this space, we gave it sort of a lifted ceiling in the middle to make it feel bigger than it is, just to make it feel that much more open. And then again, glass through most of the doors just to have that interconnectivity. When we do host with public or not public, we can have the mini fridge and the sink here for accommodations. And then back into the PD, this is open for public restroom access back behind this wall. Other than that, everything is through the door from the front corridor. And then sticking with the front of house, this is the front area where the records supervisor and the records staff will become. And here we have two main windows looking out into the front, so you can see everyone coming up from the front door all the way through. That's a great security aspect, so you can see who's coming. And then, of course, locked doors through this whole area. And then plenty of room for staff growth. All right, now we're going to enter more into the private area, or the secure area of the building. And this would be kind of a typical office. Nice large window through here. The furniture here is purely representational. Again, we're working with a third-party furniture vendor to nail down specifics, but there will be things like a wardrobe for dress attire and things like that. But there's definitely meeting space for at least 2 people in almost every office. Big windows for, again, just keeping that connection through the department. Even if you're within one department, it still has that openness to it. Here's that briefing room. Can actually see the inside of the space now. Again, large training space or large conference room space. We lifted that ceiling, made it feel a little bit more open than it is. And then we actually added these couple windows here, as Brian commented. Through this video, through the walkthrough, we were able to see this and say, you know what, maybe we should add some windows here to bring in, again, more natural light. Why not? Here's that open patrol area. This is almost at the heart of patrol, so we're going to see a lot of things here. This is kind of that open work area where they can keep the TVs on and either watch the cameras or change the news and see what's going on around them. Here we've got the duty bags and go bags in the back corridor. There's a conference room just right where my cursor is. Restrooms off the main corridor, and then LT office or lieutenant offices here, along with the sergeant office here, and then right over here in the corner is their report writing leading into the holding area, the more secluded area. And then last but not least, oh, that was weird, the break room. Centered here in the break room, we opted to kind of blow out this wall, if you will, to open the space up even more so and keep it connected with the building, let the natural light do the work for us so we don't have as much incandescent lighting throughout the space. And then, of course, double doors here for any kind of catering services, big orders, things like that. A lot of fridge storage space, and then a lot of countertop and storage for everyday use to big ceremonies. So, yeah. All right. And just in case anyone's interested, this is that spine element. Just bringing in all that natural light in.
On that front sheet, I don't know how this is going to be delivered, Brian, but like those QR codes, if you're familiar with using your phone to do the QR code, when you go to press that, it'll basically pull up. It'll ask you if you want to view. You can say yes, and you can look around and just actually hold your phone, or you can swipe on it, kind of like Michael was. Yep. So if you want to geek out on it or show someone else what's going on with this new facility design, you could do that. Yep.
And then being that this will be shared as a 11 by 17, this can either be printed out hard copy to do that, or if you're on your computer and just like here, you can actually click on the title and it will automatically pop up. Well, maybe not automatically. Technology. Next, we'll move on to the last 2 things here is current site progress. So here we actually have the footprint, and this angle is from the southwest corner looking up towards the ECC. It's just outside of camera view here. And then there's the Envision building. And this is outlining the actual facility here. So here's your vehicle sally port. And then coming through here is the west wall of patrol and evidence. And then this is the southernmost wall. And eventually we get to the kink in the building, or the elbow, where the break room is. And that just kicks out here to the right, goes off camera, and then comes back. And so this whole footprint is all now outlined. And then here's the same photo, but from a different angle. So here's where the break room is, here's the exercise area, that training room is right around this kind of tread mark is. And then the public entrance is right up here at this corner. And then here's the ECC just starting to poke out. So close proximity, we actually bumped it up as close to the actual boundary, the existing boundary, as we could, just to keep that campus feel and bring the 2 buildings as close together. And then, want to hit on sustainability?
Sure. But yeah, any questions or anything on the graphics?
No, actually, no questions. The design looks really nice. I really like the use of the natural lighting and everything that can be brought in. It's definitely going to help with energy costs and everything. So that's always a plus. But yeah, no, anybody else have anything?
Oh, as long as the police and the chief are happy, I'm happy.
Well, on that note about daylight, we did, as discussed last time we came to visit with you, we've really included sustainability as a design portion of the project. Without going for LEED certification, we did want to put together, and I believe this was in your staff report, really the statistics from the design side. But the construction as well is also done with a sustainable, mindset. All the demo that happened out there a few weeks ago, I think they recycled 190 tons of, 268 tons of concrete locally, which is really cool, and then 22 tons of steel. So it's just nice to see good stewardship on the design and the construction side, something the community can be proud of. But all the low hanging fruit, just good design practices on saving energy with daylighting, the mechanical systems in the building, the types of materials we're putting in. There's a lot of concrete, a lot of not, the intent is not to add a bunch of extra materials, tile, frou-frou, carpet everywhere, wall coverings, things like that. And both the chief and his group plus the city have been, wanting to make sure that it's a good-looking facility, but we've done it with thoughtful use of materials and didn't overdo anything. So we're happy to go into any of those details as well. But like I said, if you want to read the detail, it's in your staff report.
Can you remind the public for us?
Yes.
So we're looking at about 32,000 square foot facility. It costs about $32 million. What is the number that this is going to be able to, the capacity of like the police officers? It's out up to what, about, is it 60 something?
We're just around 60, yes. With changes through design, we've dropped somewhere in like 56 staff head area, but we're right around there. Yeah. And we do have planning for future parking for that expansion should it be needed as well.
Yeah, the facility was laid out so that future additions could be made on the structure itself if necessary, especially areas that always tend to grow in police facilities like evidence storage, holding, training, and offices can be accommodated in additions future.
And I'm assuming the records room, I'm assuming all of those areas are going to have like bulletproof glass.
Yeah, so that we can go back to those pictures. So ballistic windows here, ballistic. That whole wall has ballistic protection, and then part of why we brought that concrete wall in, which is behind the wall on the right, is so that we didn't have to do ballistic glazing on the outside of the building. So if somebody were to try to, attack the facility or whatever from the road from St. Vrain or 85, we're not putting people at risk, and it's that balance of visibility. We also want to be inviting, but have visibility. But for the folks who work in there 24/7. They need to be protected and know that they're safe in that proximity to the front door.
And I'm assuming the police parking area there is going to be for police vehicles and city vehicles only. It's not going to be accessible to the public, so it's going to be secure.
That's correct. The secure parking for staff, all staff, and on duty police force, and then also that's where they access the Sally Port. If they have a detainee, they're not bringing them through the front door. There's no interaction with that public, calmness at the front door.
Awesome. Thank you.
Just a super small detail, but that chain link fence between the two facilities will be coming out after construction. Is that correct?
That's correct. The fencing behind the Sally Port where the access to the parking lot is will be new. It'll change as well. It'll be an ornamental style fence instead of that chain link. So yeah.
So, Mr. Mayor, I know that this was a big priority for the city council when I interviewed 3 years ago, and to be able to be a part of this and to see this come to life, I'd like to thank Brian for all of his hard work, for Jackie for the financing, our owners reps. We have John, we have Joni, Chandler. I know
Joni's not
couldn't tell if Joni was here. But just everybody who's been a part of this, our design partners at D2C. I know it took a little while to get this project off the ground. And there was, concerns as to whether or not we'd get it to this point. But, we looked at several different sites and had to move on from some sites. What I love about this site that we have is we have that campus feel, and that we're able to develop this whole city complex into that city campus. And so that's really exciting. So, thank you to the entire team, chief and the police officers who were involved in the design, who have taken time out of their busy day to sit down and provide input as to what we needed in a facility. I think this is really exciting. So for everybody from the city team and our partners who who have been involved in this over the last few years. I just want to thank them for their hard work. This is really fun to get to this point and to finally see construction start.
No, absolutely. I do want to thank all of you and everybody that's involved in this this plan. I know it's been hard work for council. I know it's been a lot of hard work for staff. I know it's been a lot of hard work for you because we were looking at different areas. You know, I think we went over 4 or 5 different places before we settled on this. I know one of our former council members, Mayor Pro Tem's in the audience tonight, and she was a big part of this as well. So everybody's hard work and dedication on this, I'm glad to finally see it happening and coming to fruition. I look forward to hopefully getting it open maybe this time next year or so. I thank everybody for their hard work and dedication on this project. So yes, Councilmember Nielsman for a minute.
Yes, the need for this has been expressed with the previous administration too. And I'm glad that we finally, as a council, have been able to find a way to get this built and funded.
So are you anticipating you're going to be continuously working through the winter and everything? That shouldn't hopefully it doesn't slow much progress down, but I'm assuming you've got a lot of the underground infrastructure that's going to be put in to make it a little easier for the winter to come along.
Yeah, I can say that the construction team, obviously FCI not here, but they've run a really, I guess, great, I should say, process of scheduling and continuously trying to figure out how they can maintain the momentum. Teeing up the materials and the processes to make sure that they're not, spending dollars on winterproofing and some other things, and getting these foundations in before the frost is number one. So you can see it, just drive down there. It's great. This building, because it's a precast construction envelope, it's going to go up so quick that honestly, everyone in this room is going to say like, where did the time go? It's going to be really cool when they start going vertical. And yeah, I think we have a really good construction schedule, and knock on wood, we'll have a good winter weather construction season.
So just on that, kind of the early release package that really helped keep things moving, and allowed us to get these packages. We were looking, if we would have waited and kind of gone through the normal process with where we're at to get the 100% CDs, it probably cost the city over $1 million more because we didn't do those early release packages. So appreciate your guys' consideration to those and making that happen, as well as FCI and D2C and Mosaic and pushing everything forward. So
Absolutely. No.
the next thing we'll do is a guaranteed max price on November 3rd. Remind me to say that tomorrow. The 3rd is the 4th is election day, so we hold our council meeting on the 3rd. So note to self when we talk about that tomorrow. So that'll be when we'll bring guaranteed max price to solidify final pricing for the project.
Awesome. Thank you. And just for those that are in the audience or who are watching this, this project is being solely funded by our food sales tax. This is not a project that's coming out of the general fund. This is a completely different funding source. So this does not impact any general funds whatsoever. So.
Brian, do we have to have utility support to this before we can get the foundation in?
So utilities are moving forward. We'll run conduit and everything to the building. Excel is actually ahead of us. So they'll be.
That's amazing.
We have our general contracts been doing this for 30+ years. Says it's never happened. So we really appreciate the partnership that Excel has created with us and made this. They understand the importance to us as an organization in the city, to the community, for this. So they're actually setting transformers, I believe, on November 9th. So things are moving well, but we will have all the conduit and everything while the foundation's being poured.
Thank you.
That it? Oh, well, then, anybody else have anything? Thank you so much for being here this evening. Really appreciate it. Yeah, if we could send that out, that would be great. That way we could see it a little bit more in real time, as you're saying. So, but thank you.
We'll send the electronic to Cody, and then he can share that QR code, and you guys can click on that. The whole video will be there as well as if you want to drive
Awesome.
through each one of the areas.
Great. Well, looking forward to continuing getting updates as it goes along. So thank you for being here. Appreciate it. That's awesome. Right. So since we don't have anything else on the agenda, what we are going to do is we're going to move to the ERA meeting. That shouldn't take very long. That way we have enough time for our council meeting and our executive session this evening. So if anybody needs a quick 5-minute break, we'll start.